can spend a lot of that in
Yeah.
TP, so I don't think you get used to it.
6:30, so I'm going to call to order the Culver Town Council meeting for Tuesday, July 5th, 11th, 12th. 12th. Roll call, please.
William Clevenger.
Present.
Bill Giffens.
Here.
Bill Ham.
Here.
Sally Ricciardi. Here. Rich West.
Present.
Call for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I want everyone to know that this meeting is being recorded and your participation in the meeting is your consent to being recorded and to the broadcast of the recorded meeting on our YouTube channel. Also, anyone online and anyone in the room, please mute your phones at this time. Thank you. First on the agenda is the approval of the June 28, 2022 minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll move the way.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Rich, seconded by Sally to approve the June 28, 2022 minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Review of contracts and updates. On a quarterly basis, we are reviewing our various contracts and Amber's helping on that and Karen's going through that. So at this time, just want everybody to know that we are taking a look at them and that we are doing that. Next thing on the agenda is the award of the Community Crossings Paving Grant. And wanted everybody to know that Bob Porter has gone through the bids, taking a look at them, and he would like a motion to approve E and B paving for the amount of the grant that they submitted of $259,794.
That was a little bitter.
That was a little bit.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just I wanted to make sure everyone knew that was the lowest bid, and Bob has confirmed that they meet the qualifications of the grant.
Sounds good. Is there a motion to approve E&B paving?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Motion by Bill Ham, seconded by Rich, to approve E&B paving on the community crossing matching grant of $259,794. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the park improvement project contract. Amber, do you want to have anything you want to say about it?
Yeah, so at the last meeting when we were gonna award the bid, you all had said you'd be more comfortable going by that recommendation provided by Mike Reese, assuming, we had the full funding. So last night at the CRC meeting, I requested the additional funding to make that park project happen so that we have the full 531,000, which we had originally had only 485. Last night at CRC, they approved an additional $64,000, meeting that mark of that additional 46,000 to get the full funding, and also gives us an additional $18,000 anticipating any change orders. So We have the full funding for the project per that lowest bid and recommendation made by Mike Reese. What's up?
Who's the contractor?
Thomas.
Thomas Excavating, yeah. So is there a motion to approve Thomas Excavating the amount of, again, Amber?
$531,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
What?
It needs to say pending.
Pending.
release of
Pending.
Okra funds.
Pending the Okra funds, right?
Yeah.
Motion made by Sally, seconded by Bill Ham to approve the contract with Thomas Excavating pending Okra funding. Further discussion?
We also need to authorize you to sign that, or is it?
Yes, the president of council has to sign any contract that Okra puts into place. So I would definitely authorize Bill to sign.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Sally?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yep.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, opening the bid for the street department vehicle. You wanna?
Do you want me to open it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Open it, Rita.
So at the last meeting, you all approved allowing an employee, basically.
Submit a bid.
Yeah, and I think you deemed the property surplus, which was a big
Right.
dump truck. So Curtis Minix gave a bid of $200 for the 2004 Freightliner dump truck,
Which
since you all,
we all agreed that there's,
It was-
that Bob told us is virtually has no value that.
No engine, no engine in it.
Right. So,
He's getting rid of it out. He's getting it out of here.
yeah, you basically deemed it surplus and of no worth to the town.
no value. So is there a motion to accept Curtis's
I move we accept the
$200
$200.
and sell it to Curtis?
I'll second.
Motion made by Rich, seconded by Sally to approve the sale of the dump truck to Curtis for $200. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Good thing he wasn't at the meeting.
Yeah. Well. Next is a review of parking ordinance changes.
Yes,
Any- Got that?
yeah, I sent this out to you guys on email. Basically, this is a list of changes that we've come up with, Wayne and I. But since I've been out of the office, I still want, I still want Bob to drive through these changes with me and also give you guys time to go look at the changes. I turned on revisions in the Word document so you could see the original text versus the changes we want to make. And then assuming that Bob doesn't have any additional changes or whatever modifications he would like to make, we would put this in front of you at the next meeting for a first read on making the changes.
Jenny,
This
I have a
doesn't-
question. This is
Uh-huh.
Bill. These are all the ones you had listed there that I read through. Those are all changes and not the new.
Anything you see in red font is what we've changed. Everything in black and white font is the original ordinance. So this parking ordinance already exists. It's just that we knew there were some inconsistencies. We're also making sure that the signage we have out matches what's in the ordinance. Because, we've had a ton of construction the last 5 years. So sometimes signs get taken out or placed on the wrong side. So Wayne and I went through every road and noted where there might be need for a sign. So I didn't put in this every need for a sign, That's in a separate set of notes that I have. These are just the changes that we think are necessary for consistency or public safety reasons. Bob may have reasons to make additional changes, and given how his department understands the streets from another perspective, I want to have him walk through each of these as well. And this will also help take care of our parking on Washington Street and some of the changes we've made with the addition of the trail that need to be placed in ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Everybody understands it. Take a look at. Anything else about that, Jenny?
Nope, that's it. I just wanted to give you time to look at these in the next
Right.
couple weeks in case you've got questions or you see something that doesn't seem right. And we'll bring you a final copy at the next meeting for a first pass vote.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next thing on the agenda is an unsafe building update. Want to let everybody know, and we probably talked about it last time, regarding Bob's Country Bunker, that we ran into a little legal problem, and Jeff Hoonian, who represented Bob's Country Bunker, filed an injunction basically and asked for answers to a bunch of questions. Jeanette submitted all those answers back and just said that we were going to proceed forward with the taking down of the marquee. And Jeff Union came back and said, well, we'll agree to take it down by the 15th of July, which is beginning of Lake Fest, if you'll allow that marquee to be grandfathered so that we can put it back up, that you wouldn't penalize us if we took it down and had to go back through the whole machinations again. And so, long story short, an agreement was entered into the courts on July the 6th to that effect. And the marquee has to come down within the next, really, 2 days. And so the sidewalk will be clear and they're going to store it. And then afterwards, come back and put it back up when it's done right. So I want everybody to know about that.
What's our recourse if he doesn't?
We go back to court.
But I think it says we tear it down.
And
I'll go ahead and read it real quick.
when I sent to get authorized, we need a motion to approve this agreement?
No, it's
We
already
did.
filed in court.
She did. She filed it and it was part of an agreed order submitted to the court. You guys wanted it down.
No.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so she was just following through.
We do and it's mentioned on that, but these barricades that were supposed to be blocking the sidewalk and pedestrian traffic there have been moved such that now people can walk along the sidewalk underneath the teachers.
And I don't know who moved those, whether that was moved
I don't know.
in preparation to take down the marquee or not. I can't answer that.
I don't know, but we've said it's unsafe and we took,
It almost guides them under it.
yeah. And the two parking spaces were blocked there are not really blocked anymore. So I guess I would ask the department reposition.
If removal and storage of the marquee does not occur by July 15th, 2022, this action will continue with each party retaining the right to litigate all claims and defenses as deemed properly asserted by this court. Within this order is to be construed as limiting the town of Culver's right to bring further unsafe building actions against the property at 612 East Lake Shore Drive, Culver, Indiana, if the property falls into further non-compliance. Hopefully it's going to be torn down or taken down and stored by Friday. The other thing, we have an agenda for the Unsafe Building Board on Tuesday, July 26th at 5:30 here in Town Hall to review probably, maybe, hopefully not only that, but also the McFarland Cooper case at 435 South Ohio Street, which is the Blue House, and also the Russell Trust House at 709 South Obispo. At which time we'll see what progress has been made based on what Jeanette's letters to them after that meeting 2 months ago was done or not done.
So a question on the movie theater, the action that is supposed to take place by the 15th, does that include a ticket booth, anything with that?
They've already secured that. They put a board up or did something, they boarded it yet. But to answer your question, I don't know, that's not in here. It's mainly the marquee, but they'd already taken care of that. Any other questions? And then we're gonna move on. Town managers report. We don't have a town managers report tonight, but we do want to talk about the fiber hut lease. As you all
Yeah, and I
probably-
can actually walk you through a town manager's report if you'd like, Bill.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. The first item I'm going to cover is skipping over some of the trail projects that haven't changed in status. Just wanted to let you know that I've written a title company regarding Ohio Street. And they're going to do some research for us on that. I will let you know when I hear from them. It sounded to me like given what we had in the way of survey, and she thought they could help us out. So we'll see what happens there.
What title company did you write?
I wasn't going to mention it in case,
Okay.
but I can email you it.
Okay.
You've already covered the park project. The next steps for that is Shannon will work on getting the company under contract and then resuming the schedule that we're hoping to get going still this year on construction. Under comp planning, assuming that I am well by Lake Fest, we will have a information booth there. We're going to put out survey flyers and a postcard engagement activity at Lake Fest. And I will let you know if we could use your help on that. MACOG has offered to help staff that, but I think we should be okay. It's just a great opportunity for us to engage with people. So hoping we can pull that off. Community Crossings grant, you've already covered that. Bob will work on getting us under contract with E&B Paving, which is the next step for that. Bob and I are also talking about applying in round 2 for community crossings for the Lakeshore Drive project that we tried last time around. So we'll work on getting that done. Special event permits. Hadn't talked to Wayne today. I talked to Amber. I'm hoping that Lake Fest has worked out their issue with the beer garden. That was really the only outstanding thing that you guys had approved that permit, pending that getting taken care of. So I'll leave it to Wayne to update us on that. Broadband task force, trying to get that scheduled for when I get back, probably next week would be the soonest. I don't want to put anyone at risk for COVID, but everybody has a copy of the proposals that we received, as does the consultant and his assistant. So we met briefly to talk about criteria for grading these, And I've sent out a matrix to the team to help them track grading of these. And that matrix is based on the criteria we outlined in the RFP. So we will hopefully be prepared for your next meeting to make a recommendation. This is something I'm not trying to hurry the task force on, though. I think it's really important we look at all the details of these proposals. Crossroads Culver is primarily meeting over comp planning, and that's kind of been the agenda for us as of late. Marshall County Crossroads is primarily been meeting over Readi grants. The South Bend Elkhart region did an educational sort of show around the county to inform us on how this is going to work. We weren't sure as of last meeting if they were going to accept new projects. They are willing to accept new projects that were not part of round one. I've been talking to the consultant for the Marshall County Crossroads Readi team, Jonathan Gills. And we do have a project we're interested in potentially proposing to council and CRC that involves the outdoor rec area, but I'm looking into whether or not we could get any kind of private investment with that. So don't want to make any suggestions at this point on whether we do that project or a housing application or something else. But I definitely need to convene the Crossroads Culver Readi team as soon as I get back. So you'll see some communications from me this week if you're on that committee. Outside of that, the fiber hut agreement that's before you, I do want to have you take a look at that. I've changed with Tyson from RTC the term of the agreement to 25 years. And then I think you guys discussed this at your last meeting, being agreeable to the fact that they're paying for the expense of the building, including space for whatever provider we end up choosing. And there's all sorts of line items in that agreement. I think Jim looked at it the last time around and has seen this type of agreement from RTC and REMC. So let me know if you have any questions or if you feel like you need to put it on the next agenda. I would like to get back to them soon.
Jenny, this is Jim. It looked like that had some options after the 25 years, however, to extend it.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like that's going to be at the election of those folks, or not necessarily us.
Yeah. Well, I would presume it would also be up to some future council, given it's still our property.
Yeah, but I'm not sure it reads exactly that way.
Okay.
So you want to
Well,
hold off?
if the idea is to avoid being stuck for more than 25 years, I think you need to make sure that language is clarified.
That was the purpose,
Right,
because we didn't want the 50.
right.
Okay, well then we can,
Do you want to approve it pending a modification by Jim? And I can go back and tell them that's the only way it's approved is with that modification.
Is there a provision in there for a termination clause?
There are termination provisions in there, but
not broad enough.
usually, yeah, right. And I would like to see the language made a little more clear that when it comes up for renewal, it's not just their option to renew, it's also our option to renew.
then let's just not do anything tonight on it.
Are they in a hurry for it, Jenny?
Yeah. I think a lot of those rural projects that they're looking at but I don't know that 2 weeks is going to make a difference.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And I would be more comfortable, and I think the council would be more comfortable if we,
2 weeks is not detrimental to the deal.
for
Clarification.
25 and 25. and-
Right. I agree.
Okay.
But
Yeah, we wait.
we wait, good.
Jim,
Okay.
could you get me the changes that you're going to suggest by like next Monday or so?
Sure.
So I can get it to them before our next meeting?
Sure.
Okay. Sounds good to me. That's all I have, Bill.
Thanks, Jenny. Department head reports. Jeff, are you on?
He's not.
He's not. Terry,
Just two FYI informational stuff. Our tornado sirens are down and been down for a week. It has something to do with software. We got ERS looking on it. If we can set them off, we have to, but it's not an automatic through the county. Because the county building the issue is working on it. Second issue, I'm just gonna let you guys be aware that dispatch has been across the board, it's been terrible. We get calls, don't need to go, have to go, verbal calls, no tone, whistles sometimes, not whistles other times, tones on our radio sometimes, verbiage sometimes. We've been complaining, we went to the district, we've got all the fire chiefs in the county and approached the sheriff. Things are not really changing. So, all the buttons we can to try to get something to happen, and we just want you to know on that level, it's a nightmare. Someone's gotta get it screwed up.
And we can do,
yeah, that was gonna be mine.
I mean, we,
Political pressure on the guys that run it. Only thing I know does is the sheriff's office is the one that runs it. They have a communications officer that takes care of it. So we call me that I'm on the phone with these people trying to get something.
on behalf of the council, I would. I think-
Oh, we know it's a mess. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, we know
I'm
that.
I'm all for you.
That's
Do it.
not new news.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, what would the recommendation would be to clean up your act?
Well, I think you guys are contributing.
Yes, we are.
And
Yeah, we can do a lot.
And I know they're working on it, but
You got any comments?
Already had it out with it.
Do tell. Right.
One blames the other up there. Say it's Century. Say it's the state tower.
Okay.
I don't entirely agree.
I think a letter indicating that the way situation is presently putting Culver residents at risk,
Yes.
and for their safety, this needs to get resolved immediately.
It's everybody.
You want to make a recommendation that Jim write a letter? And we-
I don't want to write that letter, but
If I could have a call with Terry, I'm happy to write it.
You go for it? Okay.
Bill, I'm
Yeah, you're
happy
right.
to draft the letter.
Motion that the council, advise the president of the council to sign a letter to parties involved indicating our serious concern with the
Dispatch.
dispatch system. And employees at risk.
And residents.
Anything else we can threaten?
I'm sorry?
Anything else we can threaten?
Working with,
I mean, not providing the service. And what, is it monthly or?
It's a one-time.
it's an annual deal, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an annual,
yeah, because it's due
Is there a second to what Rich is talking about? Sally? Motion made by Rich and seconded by Sally for the council to initiate a letter to dispatch, just evidencing the severity and the effect that it has on the townsfolk and employees and township and Culver, and send it off to, I guess it would be, we'd send it off to the sheriff.
Copy, I would say pilot knows.
Hmm.
You do that? Okay.
I have addresses.
Hmm?
I have addresses. I have addresses.
You have addresses. Send appropriate parties. I think we know what we want to do. Motion, is there any further discussion?
Commissioner too.
Also the county council.
Yeah.
Would be a nice.
Well, the commissioners are in charge of dispatch. And primarily, I believe that's KO,
Sure.
Kevin. So we can send it directly to him
Sure.
and the sheriff. So, thank you.
That's all I have.
Motion been made and seconded. No, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Bill, do you want me to write that letter and have your signature line on it?
That would be fine. Thank you.
Okay, I will draft it. Terry, I may want to call you just so I can get some facts straight.
You hear that, Terry? Thanks, Jenny. Please.
Well, we're preparing for Lake Fest every year. Put our question, I cite them. We're that size.
You hear that, Jenny?
She's muted.
No, I couldn't hear him.
Wayne signed the approval last week, the permit.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Oh, it's been taken care of, he said.
Thanks, Wayne.
We're currently applications since the beginning of last week, at the end of this month.
Your fifth person.
Yes. Okay. Ready to get the car into the outfitter, be a little while. Everything, rain or shortage or something. That's pretty much all I have. Unless you have anything.
I had a discussion with Chad today about all your stuff in your bay over there, the bicycles and everything. And his made a suggestion that I guess we get with Jim and see about, used bikes and what ordinances. We don't have an ordinance to dispose of.
Well, we already talked about that.
Oh, you did?
We're gonna itemize everything and then like or sell it off.
Is that going to be sufficient enough, do you
Just
think?
put notice out and anybody can buy it, right?
Right. Okay.
We just gotta go through, list everything. Stuff,
Okay. Just to give you guys more space because you need it.
Takes time to do all that.
I understand, sir. Anything else? Thank you, sir. Park?
We just have the adaptive water ski clinic that starts tomorrow and goes until Thursday. If anyone's interested in volunteering, come down to the park. It'll be all day tomorrow and Thursday. And then other than that, Lake Fest, so. Yeah.
Good. Utilities, Bob? Not on? Go on to clerk's report.
I have a couple of claims over 2,500 for your approval. The first one is Mid-City Supply Company, $3,479.66 for the heating and air conditioning unit that you all are enjoying this evening. The second one is Hall Signs, $4,476.43. Those are for signs around town. Culver and Lake Maxon Visitor Center, $5,000, and that's their quarterly payment for their annual contract. BS Engineering, $10,590. That's for work that they're doing on the Lakeshore project that Jenny and Bob are working on to apply for Community Crossing Grant Round 2. And then I have 3 for Miller Insurance. One is for $5,808, and that's for the EMS accident insurance. $4,195 for the fire accident insurance, and then $14,354. And that's for the rest of the general coverage, the property liability, everything else for the fire department.
So do we have a motion to approve the claims over $2,500?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Bill Clevenger, seconded by Bill Ham to approve claims over 2,500. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, the second thing I have is, this is also in place while Ginny's been out. There's a special event permit for the Firemen's Festival, and that is to take place July 23rd from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's State Street closed from Lakeshore Drive to Pearl Street. It's their annual festival that takes place every year. And it's been reviewed by all the department heads.
Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Sally, seconded by Rich to approve the Fireman's Festival on July 23rd. In discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, and it's a good thing that everybody's sitting down because I've got good news for the time being. Beginning in August, the legislature eliminated the 1.4% utility receipts tax on the water that you are purchasing from the town. As a result of that, they are requiring us to reduce our water rates and eliminate that 1.46% tax. So in doing all that, we need to have a public hearing next meeting and pass another ordinance so that those lower water rates can go into effect. So just giving all of you a heads up that needs to take place. I shared a copy of the ordinance. Jim suggested an update, and I've made that update. And hopefully we can get that all passed next time so that will go into effect when Julie needs to run the bills the following day. And you all will see a little bit of a change, maybe like $1.
Yes, but the repeal of the utility receipts tax is not just for water utilities, it's for all utilities. So it's going to be on electricity, water, and sewer.
Oh.
So it only applies to us because that's the only utility service
that we provide. Yeah.
I don't think it applies to sewer.
Well, maybe not, but I think it, but it does electricity. I know that. So
I mean, NIPSCO's going to reduce our bill.
1.4%. So
well, you will see it because we're required to put notice on your bills for the next 2 months. So.
And we engaged Baker Tilly to help us.
And we probably, any money that you all are
Yeah.
saving, we paid the Baker Tilly to figure out that change. So you can thank your legislators. I'll just leave it at that. And then the final thing that I have is I received 3 applications for the open BZA seat, and just letting everyone know council is going to get copies of those and review them, and then reach out to each of those people individually to schedule a meeting.
Yeah, we'll schedule interviews and then we'll convene next time and we'll announce the person at that meeting.
So, and that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney's report.
not really too much to report. We are continuing to work on the appeal of the Plan Commission's approval of the rezoning at 415 lofts, and Okay. Jenny hopefully is working a little bit on the reviewing that transcript that we've got put together. So we'll continue in that vein. And other than that, that's really all I have.
I actually fell asleep reviewing one of those, Jim. If I weren't sick, I'm
A
sure.
lot
I'd
of
just-
stirring
I'm sure
comments.
I'd
I
stay
can't believe you
awake.
fell.
I will try to get it back to Bobby this week.
Yeah, I assume Don Fox probably knows the speakers that were not, she couldn't understand when they, gave their names or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I know
whether
him
we,
too. So I think between his minutes and me listening to recording and looking at her stuff, I can figure out who they are.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jenny.
Uh-huh.
Okay, is there anyone present for utility shut off or ordinance violation? Anyone online or in the room? Next up, citizen input.
Bill, the
State,
Fireman's Festival,
go ahead and just state your name for the.
Mike Stallings, 506 East Lake Shore
Thanks.
Drive. The Fireman's Festival is taking place from Lake Shore Drive to Pearl. That house next to the fire department is scheduled to come down. And in fact, Habitat's been there and taken windows and doors out. And and NIPSCO was there the other day and took the utilities down. I don't know when it's being done, but it might be a good idea to send them a letter saying, it needs to be done before Terry sets up his festival, because it could be a very attractive nuisance.
Either done before or wait till afterwards.
One or the other, yeah, I don't know, and I have no idea what their plans are. They had said they were going to take it down a week ago, but it didn't come out.
Terry, could you?
I don't think it's a big deal. There's no equipment in the road. If it's in their property, it's an eyesore now, so.
You can burn it down and make it part of it.
Hopefully they have down, if they don't, then that way for. I don't see an issue really.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah,
I think you should notify those people.
I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, do notify Habitat.
Well, they took everything from us.
They're done.
Oh, okay. Who's gonna do the demolition?
Take care of it.
Okay. Thanks.
Fire 1000 on South Street. I just had a concern, and I'm not sure who would address it, but on the new bike path / walking path, which is great. There's several trees, I think some of them could be on parkways, where the branches hang low. It's making, I know at the corner of Wabash and Main Street, when you're looking to the south, it's hard to see if there's a runner or a walker or whatever. I've noticed that, and then, on some of the other ones as well. So I just don't know if that's part of anyone in town not anyone in town, but someone's job that they could go and check those and make sure that the stop signs are visible. I was riding my bike the other day and somebody was, shooting down Akron, and there's a stop sign. I think she was gonna stop, but I wasn't, because there wasn't a stop sign, and it scared me.
Well, I think
Wouldn't have been much to flip over the hood of the car and land on.
we can get Bob to go around and take a look at it.
Yeah, I just think it's from a safety perspective. And whether it's a homeowner or town.
Well, or the tree commission too.
Right.
We're meeting with the tree people tomorrow. We could take a look at it and possibly, if it's just removal of some branches.
Wabash and Main Street.
Well, I would check all along the path.
Right, I understand. No.
There's several.
Bunch she's
Regular
talking
basis.
about at that corner, I know it's on private property.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if there's what the setback is or.
Back of the sidewalk is the lot line.
Okay. So that
We
one
can't
would
go
be
in
on
there.
private property, but I don't think they're capable of doing that, but there's others, I think, as well, so.
I mean, you could always check with the homeowner and see if it's okay to
Whack it off.
I
yeah.
can't just go out and do it.
Grim job.
Yeah, when I go under, I might grab a
But
branch.
again, my concern is all along the new.
I understand, I understand.
Because some of the signs are far enough back and people have to pull up to see. So
Good.
do that, I've already hit somebody.
At the last meeting, we raised a concern about probably fall within the scope of some type of. As it paid forward, and
I think
Part of
as
this.
like, yeah, we keep looking into expanding the trail system. Like, I know a lot of communities start running into that. It'd be nice if we resolved it before we continued it, because trail maintenance is a really big piece of it that people leave out when they start installing trails in communities. So I know we get a lot of like, there's a tree down on the trail, and then like, especially post summer, I don't have a crew to like 24/7 take care of that. But yeah, especially as we expand. Right now it's pretty manageable, but as it gets longer, something to consider.
Gary,
Yeah, so Gary Perrick at 1001 South Street. And two things come to mind. Between Wabash and the old Evil Shack, if you're going on Main Street, there appear to be things that look like storm sewer grates. And when you drive over them, they're unsecure. They make, god awful noise. I was just wondering if that's going to be addressed. That's been going on for over a year. So I'd throw that out. The other thing is regarding the water bills, Karen, you reminded me, there's a 15-cent charge to participate in the EFT program.
Yes.
Now, the town saves postage by not having to mail out that bill, right? Is there a way to get that 15-cent EFT charge?
The town only saves money if you get your bill emailed.
We do.
Okay, well,
I-
so the EFT, so it's two separate. So one's the email, one's the EFT. The bank charges us 15 cents for those EFTs. If you want to ask the council to give you some kind of discount that we can try to figure out on our billing system for an email bill, that's up to the council.
Yeah, not me personally, I'm just thinking there's cost savings here for all the residents. I mean, you don't have to mail out paper things. People, it'll get paid, assuming water meters, so it kind of adds up over a lifetime. And I'm sure other people would, see it on their bill as well. So just a thought there. So the storm sewer grates,
got
they
it?
can get tightened up so they
Got
won't
it.
get that noise, and water bill. And Karen, I'm glad you and Jenny worked on getting this system in place to automate, the paper bills, and everyone who wants it probably is signed up for it. So I think it's a great thing.
We try to get the word out, and every couple of months we find out that someone doesn't know about it. So if you don't know,
Yeah.
you can have your bill emailed to you and you can pay automatically. I'll just put that out there again. I can't make that arbitrary
There are
decision, so.
people in town that like to touch stuff.
Well, let's,
Really?
I'm not gonna go there, because that's, you're not gonna get it from me. But you might not be getting your bill because of the post office, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, we had no control over the post office.
I think
Okay.
with E and B coming back for community crossings, we can talk to them about those, the drains that Gary's talking about on South Main.
Okay.
Bob and I'll get with them on that when we go under contract with them and maybe ask to add that to the contract. I'm not sure we can go outside the scope of the community crossings grant, but yeah, we can definitely look into that.
Gary, was that in the area that was recently repaved and on Main Street?
It's south,
It's that
south,
stormwater section
south of Evil Check
Right.
on Main.
that we've been.
And they rattle like crazy. If I lived on that street, it'd drive me crazy.
First one is
Yes.
right in front of the church there.
Oh,
And they continue going. Bob's been after them to try to get something done and was assured it would be and has not.
Okay.
So
so it's on everybody's
And-
radar.
it it has been for a long time.
Yeah, I think they actually fixed a couple of them and then for some reason didn't fix the other ones.
As long as we're
One
talking
that I
about,
drive over, they didn't fix.
as long as we're talking about that stretch, all that grass is dead between the sidewalk and the street, or it's dying. And I know that Plymouth Street, they went down and watered that,
Right.
but for some reason they haven't watered the South Main, south of Eagle Check.
It did.
Now it's
Yeah, it's dead.
brown.
Yeah, are you talking about near the trail? I'm sorry.
Right next to the trail, between the trail and the street.
Yeah, so as part of our walkthrough for that project, we can't close that out until a July date later this month. I believe in certain cases they know it's already dead and they're going to be replacing it. So that's part of the reason there's not,
Okay.
they have to make an effort for so many days once it got replaced. And some of
I
it
get it.
was, but we gave them a whole chunk of what needs to be replaced. So there's
Okay.
some on South Plymouth Street, on Washington, and down South Main.
Yeah, no reason to pour water on dead grass.
Yeah, yeah. There's even some on South Plymouth Street that literally rolled up and it never took root. That will also get replaced.
Thank you.
I drove Anyone else online or in the room on citizen input? Yeah, Gary.
Kerry Cheseline, 520 South Plymouth. I brought this up last night to the CRC. I just had an observation about Main Street, the strip of Max that side, they're falling down and not working. So Sally said she'd check. I was looking for some guidance regarding private fireworks during the 4th of July. And the reason I'm concerned, I have a dog who is absolutely terrified by fireworks. And we spent Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night in the basement for hours. And I've even given her a Xanax, and it just, we were good until after the city fireworks. About 45 minutes later, the private citizens decided to launch an attack on something. And I have never heard fireworks as loud as I heard that night. They were horrific. And the howitzer on campus is nothing compared to these things. And I found out the next day that ground zero was basically the empty lot of Eagle Check and Lawn Guard. Not because that's city property and that shouldn't have been used. So I don't know what the ordinance states, Wayne, you certainly know. I guess it's 12 o'clock cutoff. I'm not sure, but that's one basically.
It's government. We base all over. State.
That's a state statute.
Yep.
Just,
Oh, I don't know. I have to look it up. It's certain days to certain times and it spans out for a period of time. It's just not up for the 4th of July.
no, I understand it. And
Plus, they're all over town.
Right, there were several sites like that.
Right.
I don't remember seeing any down there, so.
well,
I don't know.
I got a picture if anybody wants to see what it looked like, because they left it there.
It's right
Well,
west.
the fact that it was on,
Yeah.
city property, and I think that's what your
Yeah, I mean.
main point is, and I don't
People do what they
disagree.
do, but, I don't really need the city to part of that. I mean, they did their town fireworks and that's fine. We were good with that. They were far enough away, but boy,
That's not the town's property.
No.
anyway, I just was looking to see when I can expect fireworks to cease legally on a 4th of July weekend. How would I? How would I find that? Is there a resource I?
There's a state statute on it. You just have to look it up or have somebody look it up.
Yeah, because, I mean, I eventually called the dispatch. I said, sure enough, it did, whether it stopped
Yeah,
coincidentally.
that's usually how a lot of it goes. People call, we go to address them. Yeah, I stopped 2 places that were shooting out the street.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, they're all over that night.
And this 4th was over the top. I just couldn't believe.
Right, I agree. That's more I see.
Thank you. Patty?
Patty Stalling, 506 East Lakeshore Drive. One thing about the fires, we had it at the end of West Lakeshore Drive and school somewhere down there and they're on the street. And it used to be beautiful. Now it's bang, bang, bang. There's nothing beautiful about that. You know, it was awful. I wonder if there's a sound ordinance. It was really amazing. You must have stopped it because all of a sudden, boom, went dead about 10 or.
Could be.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're all
but It
over
was,
Aerial bombs.
wow. We got
Okay.
that close to it. And the other thing is, I know for a couple of years ago, maybe each year, we've complained since the new sewer system went in. That the for the storm drain and be in front of the fire station, but toward us on Lakeshore Drive. Boom. If a car is not so bad when the boats, trailers hit it, or when big trailers and trucks hit it, it's a boom. And you know, there's what, 4 or 5 of us with front porches there. You can't use them in certain times, but so you just leave the window down. But we asked that if you remove one of those parking spaces, what happens is they'll park on Lakeshore Drive going, well, on the south side. There's only one on our side. And then there's, several, the trucks, have to get out going west. We kept thinking, see, when they have to pass a car, they hit it. Or somebody parked, they'll hit it. Otherwise, they don't hit it. So if we could look at it and,
I know a couple of years ago, Bob did, you brought it up a couple of years ago and Bob did something I remember,
it didn't work.
but I don't remember, all the details.
Yeah, he did
So
try what he knew.
We get with Bob and take a look at it again.
Okay.
Good. Anyone else? Move on. Council issues. William,
I have nothing.
Rich,
Nothing.
William?
Nothing. Same here.
The only thing I've got is, I think everybody knows, it's more of a public service announcement. TG&L, is down or was down, and it just recently got back up. And so if you were on TG&L before Town Garden Lake and having difficulty getting back on, there is a new one. It's called TG&L 2. Contact Tracy Fox, and it's on there now as to how to get back on and get approved. I saw something, I believe it was either yesterday, that, we originally had, or she originally had like 1,300 people on Town Garden Lake. And now, since it's been redone, there's only like 335 or something like that, less than 350. So if you're used to getting Town Garden Lake, same rules and regulations that she had, apply, don't apply all, and play by the rules of the game, so to speak. But
The email to request getting on is Don and Tracy Fox at.
right, she did have some problems there too. You're right. Just want everybody to know that if you haven't been getting anything, that's the reason why it did get out. So that's all I have. Jenny, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Karen, you got anything? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
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 Motion been made, second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.
I had, way to go. Boy, I had to-
I was worried.